Welcome everyone, this is Gwydion with RPG Frequencies, and today I'm going to be doing character creation and a walkthrough from some of the tutorials for Wrath of the Wyvern, Sons of Rivisk. This is a solo RPG board game. Couple things up front, I'm not going to dive deep into the rules, just the character creation. There are some great videos that I would point you to from the Grouch Couch and Dungeons and Dyslexia. They both have, I think, hour-long videos. I've watched them both multiple times. Really good. I'll try to remember to put links in the description if you'd like to see those. But I haven't seen too many playthroughs, so I thought I'd jump in and at least start that. And one other big caveat, right now, the game has an amazing-looking physical components, and none of them are available. They're all sold out. It looks like it was a very successful Kickstarter. I missed it, never heard of this, or I would have been in on it. But I went ahead and bought the digital version, which has a lot of digital components like cards, tokens, all kinds of like maps and things, which are really high quality. And I bought that on drive-thru for $22. So if you're willing to do that, and then I did have some like I spiral bound the rule book, which is like 240 pages, and the bestiary. So I did do that just so I had some physical components, but I'm hoping this is released again. So that's one big caveat. So what am I using today? A couple things for music. I'm using Bardi, and it should adjust some of the background music automatically, so I don't have to mess with the music, but it should kind of adjust to hopefully the tone and the locations. So we'll see how that goes, but been using it and love it. I'm using a program called Sojour BTT for my virtual tabletop. And I like to use Sojour where there's a lot of components. There may be some journaling to remember and that type of thing. So I'd encourage you to check out Sojour. And this game does not have any dice. So I thought Sojour was a really good fit too, because I do tend to use Fantasy Grounds and some other programs or like 3D dice, which you can integrate in Sojour. I have videos on that. But for a card game, I think Sojour really fits well. Another thing I'll be using is a program called playingcards.io. This looks like it's within Sojour, but it's actually just capturing the website page. But I decided to create like my hands and such in playingcards.io. And I did create a couple cards just so you know if I'm playing and you're wondering. If you look at the bottom of my right-hand screen, I created armor cards and shield cards. There aren't cards for those in the game, but I wanted to keep track of those better. So I kind of created a playing surface down at the bottom here, weapon, armor, and shields, so that I could track those and I could just hover over them and I could explain to you what the benefit is of those. Otherwise, I'd be doing it on a character sheet or something. And some of these things we won't get into, I'm sure, during the game, but when we'll roll initiative, we'll kind of go through that. And yeah, let's dive in. Oh, there's also a hexagon map. And let me get rid of that and just do a selection if I remember how. There we go. And here's the Umbral Highlands map. See if I can erase that for now. So we'll get into this and you can see, I won't zoom in yet, but there are a lot of numbers on this map. And that's you'll be able to travel and discover things on these various map components. We'll figure that out together. You can see my token is way down here at the bottom, and I'll show you that later. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into character creation. So I'm going to go back to my character sheet, so that's up and ready to go. Actually, I don't need to do that yet. Let's jump into the core rulebook and find the character creation. So I think there is a section here, create your hero. I think that's the place to start. There is a section that talks a little bit more. I think I'm taxing the ability of Sojour. I have a lot of very big PDFs in here, so it might lag just a little bit, but that's not, it's really my issue for not optimizing this more. So you can see the art is amazing. So, okay, forging your legacy. This is where we're going to start. So choose your name. I always tend to choose Gwydion. You know what? I like Lachlan. So I'm gonna use Lachlan. So I did create my own. I used the book has the character sheet, but I created this into a form fillable sheet. So let's say Lachlan, and we'll start there. And let's go back to the core rulebook. Your attributes. So you are the descendant of Uru Belieth, the last member of the Order of Skyfire. It will be up to you to pick up the pieces and rebuild the ancient order in its locations. Only then will you be able to combat the Wyvern threat plaguing the Highlands. I will say there's a lot of lore in here. I didn't read it all. I tried to scan through it, but I'll definitely be reading more later because it looks really cool. You start with 6 hero points to distribute. Each attribute begins at 0, and each hero point you assign increases the base by +1. You may not assign more than 2 hero points to a single attribute during character creation. And then you also have this lineage bonus. As a descendant of Uru Belieth, you can add +1 free points to either courage or fortitude. Now, I know from reading ahead before we do this, I don't know if it tells you right here, but somewhere I know that it is fortitude and one other stat that decides how many cards you're allowed to utilize in battles. So that's pretty important. You have a minimum of 2, but I know let's look back at the character sheet for a second. So I think it's strength and fortitude. I'm going to look at that for a second. Okay, so it's actually stamina and fortitude. So I need to remember that. So I think I at least want to have 3, so I can start with 3. So I get 6 points. So let's start with, I know I want a stamina. Why is that not letting me click? That's disappointing. I wonder if I need to close this and reopen it maybe. Huh. Well, let's try this. Lachlan. And it might be that I need to save this. I always forget to do that. So stamina and fortitude, I know I want. I'm going to look. I don't want to keep flipping back and forth in the screen. So I think what I'm going to do is look these up a little bit and talk to them. All right, I'm going to read the book a little bit while I'm leaving the character sheet up here. So each attribute is actually attached to a symbol, and this is how you're going to be, instead of rolling dice, you're going to be pulling fate cards. And I might mispronounce these names, but stamina is attached to the fate card Triskelion. Strength is attached to the Wheel of Tyrannus. Courage to Awen. Wisdom to Triquetra. Legacy card, which I don't know, it's not actually a stat, but we'll find out about that later, I think, and that's a Daranaut. And then finally fortitude to Aelm. So stamina is what you would think. Strength determines the powers of your attack. Courage, it affects your powers and ability. Wisdom, it affects your research and lore and interaction. It also helps you gather clues for tracking wyverns. Legacy card, so that's going to be some kind of rare pivotal moments and not tied to an attribute. And fortitude grants you strength to face whatever's inner power, so that's more like mind and defense. Okay, so I'm honestly not sure. So I guess I do get an extra bonus, they said, right? So I'm going to put that into fortitude. I think we decided that was courage or fortitude. So we're going to do fortitude. So I've only done 2 so far. So we're going to at least do 1 in each. 3, 4, 5, I think. I don't know. I think I want to be kind of well-rounded. And so this is going to give me... Actually, I don't know. Maybe for now... Sorry. What did I say? It was strength plus fortitude? So I think I'll do strength. I want to have 1 of each. So strength. And if I figure out that, I think that gives me 4 focus points. So I'd get 4 cards. I'm almost positive that is correct. So let's just keep going. And I'll retcon that if I need to. So, all right, what's next? So we got the attributes done. And no, it was stamina and fortitude, right? Yes, it was stamina and fortitude. So let's go back and do that before I forget. So instead of strength, I'm going to do stamina and fortitude. So that'll give me 4. I'm going to save this so I don't forget. I hope that saved. I think it did. All right. So what is next? Step 3, Hero's Fate. Draw fate cards to establish. And it also says you can select one preferred. I think I'm just going to make it random. So we're going to draw and return the card to the fate deck with shuffle, but why not? We'll start with Birth Omen. So we are going to draw a fate card. So we're going to take a fate action, 1 card. And I'm going to learn these over time, but that is the Trequetra Wisdom. So let's see, let's go back to the core rulebook. And I got at least I think it was, wasn't it? Wasn't it this here? Yes, the Triquetra. So that is lightning storm is the sign. Grim clouds consumed the sky, roaring as they pummeled the land with lightning. During your birth, 1 strike landed near the hut, incinerating an ancient tree. Reduce your wisdom attribute by 1. Oh, that's no bueno. So wisdom is now 0. Excellent. I don't know why. It must be me. I hope I saved this. I sure hope this doesn't break it, because that'll be bad. Oh, no. I'm going to pause for a second. Oh, nope, it's back. Good. All right, so, okay, I think I just need to close and reopen and just remember to save, so. All right. So that's that. That's the Birth Omen. And I think so then the next one is Fear as a Child. So let's do I wonder if I need to put that on my character sheet. Does it say Birth Omen? Yeah. So I should write that down. Birth Omen, that is... What do I call that? Oh, I think the sign, maybe. Birth Omen is Lightning Storm. We'll just do that. So, Lightning Storm. All right, now we're on to Fear. Fear is a Child. So let's do that. We are going to reshuffle. So reset the Fate deck, and Fear is a Child. I got the Trequetra again. I know it should be shuffling every time I reset it, so we'll try that again if I keep getting it. But so Trequetra, there we go, is the Fuath. No, it isn't. I lied. Primordial Skeletons. So you once traveled to the rugged Highland Mountains with your uncle. At night by the campfire, the snoring sound of your uncle echoed in the cave where you had sought refuge. In the darkness, you swore you heard the rustling sound of bones, the sound of primordial skeletons roaming in the cave depths. So I don't know what that does, so I'm going to put primordial skeletons, and I guess we'll have to look. Primordial skeletons. Save that, and let's look for a second. See if it tells me. Grants a narrative weakness, so maybe it's not a... Oh, it does say it. Whenever you encounter these creatures, it causes you to take a -1 defense when battling them. That's kind of cool. Nothing huge, but it's a nice little touch to your backstory. So let's keep going. That's Fear as a Child. Motivation to fight. So let's reset this again. If I get the Triquetra, and there's only 6 cards, so there's not too surprising. Yeah, that doesn't... I'm going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to look at this later, but let's give this a shuffle a few times. And let's take a Fate action. All right. That's the plus, which is Aelm, and that's tied to Fortitude. Motivation to fight. Redemption. The pain of our past can consume us and drag us into darkness. You will find redemption through finding purpose in helping others and bringing light to the darkest places. So this is something I'm going to have to remember, or maybe I'll write down. see if I can copy this into Sozier. So gain +1 Fury point at the start of combat for 1 round only. But that must be every round, right? Start of every combat. I think that's cool. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make a note. Day 1 character info. And I'm going to say redemption. And then I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to say fear, primordial skeleton. And just kind of keep that. And I think I can, if I can do, yeah, I can do it that way. And I made this really big so you could read it. We can make that smaller, but for now I'm just going to make it big so you can see that. All right, I'm going to keep saving. I do that to a fault. So let's go back and call that redemption. Motivation is redemption. And I'm not going to put the plus there. I'm just going to try to remember that. All right, we're getting there. Leaving your homeland, the Umbral Highlands witnessed your birth, your first steps, and your first grip of the sword. All right, so this is... So where is your homeland? Oh, no, why did you leave your homeland? It looks like there's 2 options here. You could probably come up with your own if you'd like to. But let's go ahead and draw a card for that. We're going to reset. Let's see if it gives you... Yeah, I think I do need to change that, but it's fine. Let's reset the fate deck. I'm going to add a shuffle to that later. But in the meantime, so I'm going to shuffle a few times. And we'll take a fate action. And it's the one I keep getting, but there's only 6, so Triquetra. So it's not too surprising that it keeps going down there. Triquetra is the family death. So I guess I can just copy this if I want to as well. Family death. Go back to the character sheet. Right. So the death of a loved one left a deep sadness within you. Pain and sorrow followed you like a dark, hovering cloud. You felt there was nothing left for you in the Umbral Highlands and chose to travel as far as you could, attempting to avoid the pain. But there's no hiding from it as it remains within you. You begin the campaign with 3 hero points. That's cool. And that I guess I might as well just put in my character sheet because I don't think... Let's see. Hero points, hero points. Should be on here somewhere, right? There we go. All right. And that's how you level up. So you can use those for various things that we'll try to remember to talk about. All right. Amulet. So let's try the amulet. This is kind of a fun addition. It's not just a trinket, but it does allow you to do some things. I don't know if it's just narrative. We'll see. All right. Let's give it another shuffle or 2. And we'll take a fate action. Plus, let me make sure these are all in here. Yeah. All right. They're all in there, so it's all good. All right. So that is the And let's go back to the rulebook. So drinking horn. Oh, I like that. I like that. This horn carries the tales of your grandfather, the battles fought, beasts hunted, monsters and magics encountered. Through his words, while drinking Uzg Beatha from this horn, you found the inspiration to explore the world beyond your home. Once per day, when drawing a fate card, draw an additional card. So you basically get advantage once per day. It's going to be something I need to remember as well. So let's go back to our little here, and I'm going to say this is what? Amulet. And that is drinking horn. So let's go back here, save that. We're going to go back to my character sheet, drinking horn. Yeah, I'm not going to try to put them on here. I could, but I'm afraid there's too much there. So I'll just try to remember day 1, the characters. You know what I'm going to call this, actually? See if I can rename this. Rename day 1. We're going to call it character info. Just so I always know anything I need to go back and know I can go back to this one and remember. So let me do a little formatting here just because I'm anal. All right, perfect. Save that bad boy and let's go keep going. Profession. Did you seek money, fame, or glory in the known world? So we're going to do this again. So let's go back to our... So we're going to reset, give it a couple shuffles, and fade action. Wow, I feel like I always draw the same thing. That's okay. For now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll worry about it later if it keeps happening. So let's go to the core rulebook. And let's scroll a little bit, let it catch up. And this is the profession, Traquetra Bounty Hunter. So let's put that in the character sheet. Tracking down fugitives of the law has forced you to venture into the starkest and most brutal locations. You have meddled with criminals and killers and found that the darkness is where you feel at ease. You've become an expert at navigating rugged landscapes and tracking people and locations. So it looks like I get both of these, right? At least I get +1 to wisdom saves because I have 0 wisdom. Ooh, and gain +1 to ranged attacks if I have something, I guess. So let's copy this. Let's go back to our character. And I'm going to say, what is this called? A bounty hunter. So we'll do that. And we'll do a little of that. And that. And I'll just have to remember this, which shouldn't be too bad. And I'm going to put Bounty Hunter on my character sheet. Sorry if I'm bouncing around a bit. I just want to get through this for you. Bounty Hunter. All right. All right, let's see what is left. So that was an amulet. Equipping your legend. Starting equipment. You commence your journey with the following: a trusted sword, weapon, and let's put that on our character sheet. Trusted sword. And let's see, let's save that. And I did put that just so I'm on playing cards today. I know you started with it. So this will give you, it requires 1 strength. So I guess I need to make sure I have 1 strength, but it deals 3 damage. And if you're below half health, it deals +1 damage. So that's nice. And let's go back. Ability cards, so 12 starter deck cards. So I have those. And I'm not going to mark, I need to create this PDF, I think, for a form fillable. But we won't worry about unlocking the card sheet yet. We'll do that next time. Gain any hero points or rations from the tutorial quest. So we'll get on that in a bit. I didn't do that yet, but I assume I can do that after this. Health, calculate your starting health and fury points and record them. So your total health is 12 plus stamina plus fortitude. 12 plus stamina plus fortitude. 12 plus, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that should be the same, right? Your current and maximum. All right. And then fury points, utilize the following: equals stamina plus fortitude. So again, that's going to be 4. Fury points is here, 4. Mount your trusted steed as your companion on treks across the landscape. It will join you during the first quest. So I guess I don't put that in yet, I'm assuming. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. Music and tunes. Talks about a harp that you carry, but I don't think you start with a tune. But it's kind of like a bardic thing. It might give you, you can see the tunes over here, but I don't think I get to pick one yet. You can learn new tunes throughout your journey. Yeah, it doesn't say that you start with one. You can only have one at a time. That's fine. Effects are indefinite. Change tunes anytime. It costs 2 hero points during combat to switch tunes. Okay. So hero ready. You've now created your hero. After reading the rules, you're ready to return to the Emerald Highlands. So anybody, I think I'll keep going. We've been going about 20, 25 minutes. That's good. we'll start with the, I guess we'll start with the tutorial quest at page 126. I thought there was something else. I thought, let's see if I want to look at, see, stand and face me. Is that page 126? No. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go straight to the tutorial quest. Why not? I could probably do that, but where is the tutorial quest? Campaign, Echoes of the Highlands. All right, this is the tutorial quest. So let's start here. So this sequence takes place before the quest. The arrival, this introduces the game mechanics, okay? A vision, you're hunched next to a brazier on the ship's open deck. Your only companions are your sword and your back, and the cup of hot water warming your hands. You're returning to your homeland. You feel a sense of longing for something you once experienced. It's a memory of happiness that flickers like a thought in your mind. The night is cold, but you do not wish to rest with the other travelers below deck. Being in the open, under the stars, puts you at ease. This has always been your connection to the Highlands. No matter where you were, you could gaze up at the same cosmos and watch the same stars as you saw from your homeland when you were young. Lost in thought of a bygone life, you watch the flames flicker from the brazier. L'Ascension. I don't know, L'Ascension. You exit your cottage and are greeted with the sun's overpowering glare. Wait, is that right? Oh, that's a vision. Got it. A rarity in the gloomy highlands. The initial glow fades and you raise your chin and set your eyes upon the peak of Crag Athair. It casts a shadow over part of your family's settlement. You are no longer on the ship. You are back in the Highlands, but not as the person you are today. You are back in your younger years. Your younger but more daring cousins, Rory and Ailsa, appear behind you. They do not live far from your home and are always around, ready for an adventure. I challenge you both to race to the top of the crag. The last one to reach the top will clean the chamber pots for a week, mocks Rory as he races up the crag, followed by Ailsa. They laugh as they leave you trailing behind. Before you continue, a raven croaks as it perches itself above the entrance to your cottage. You steady the creature and it peers back at you. In your mind, you hear the voice of several women speaking in unison. Forge your destiny, Highlander. You quickly shift your gaze to your cousins and begin to run. Reach the summit of the crag before Rory and Ailsa. So this is going to introduce some mechanics around stamina test. So shuffle the fate deck and draw one base fate card plus additional cards equal to your stamina modifier. So I need the Triskelion symbol for stamina, which is, yeah, okay. So that's what I need to save. So one base fate card plus additional equal to my stamina modifier. And let me look up my stamina modifier for a second. Okay, so if I have one or two points in that given attribute, then I get plus one card. So I get two cards. So I'm going to take my fate action. I'm going to shuffle again just because. All right, I already shuffled it a couple times, but we're going to take the fate action and for our save, two cards. And those are not, that's the Wheel of Tyrannus and the Triquetra. So I failed. So let's reset the face deck. And let's go back and see what that means. If the card drawn matches the required symbol, save successful. Otherwise, you have failed. Go to failure. All right, so failure. You slip and bruise your hands. Gain one strain point. Finally, you reach your cousins. You can start with my chamber pot, mocks Ailsa as you all laugh at the thought. All right. So let's go back to my character sheet. And that's one strain point. Close it and reopen it. So where is the strain? I'll remember this over time. There should be a section, enemy tier, defense, there's strain. Oh, I need to close this. Let's make sure it's saved. Yeah, like I said, I think let's give it a second. Strain points. There we go. All right. I think for every 2, you get a -1. I wonder if it says in the reference guide. Does it tell you strain points? Strain. Every 2 equals -1 fury point. At 6, you must rest, and I think you get some back by resting. You get to get relieve strain, I think, by resting. All right. All right. So I think that is it. At the summit, you pause. You gaze at the beautiful landscape below and see your cottage bathed in sunlight. Suddenly, the scene shifts. A cold breeze sets in. The sky darkens and gray clouds cast shadows over you. You are interrupted by rustling in the nearby bushes. You remember an old hunter once taught you how to track animals. Read the land like a story, and it shall guide you to its reward, were his words. You spot the trail of a wounded boar. A trail of blood leads beyond the bushes. A wounded beast is more dangerous because it sees anyone approaching as a threat. We'd best head down, says Rory. So this is going to be a wisdom save to follow the trail. So 1 base fate card plus additional cards equal to your wisdom modifier. I have 0, but I do gain +1 to wisdom saves from my bounty hunter profession. So at least I get 2, and I'm trying to find the Traquetra, which is kind of like the Trinity symbol there. So let's try to do that. And I'm going to give it another shuffle, even though I shouldn't need to. So I'm going to take 2. And I got 1, yes. So that is the Traquetra. So let's reset the fate deck. So that's done. Give it a shuffle for next time. And let's go back and see what it says. All right, successful go to feast. You locate the boar in its last gasping breath. It is a robust animal that will provide plentiful food for your family. Gain 3 rations. That's important because when you camp, actions at camp cost rations. So let's go to our character sheet and add 3 rations. Still learning where those are. Maybe, or maybe it's not on the character sheet. If it's not, I'm going to track them. I would think it would be. Don't see them. Just trying to make, oh, there we are. Excellent. So that's 3 rations. Excellent. All right. Poor beast, Elsa says. Poor. It will be a healthy supper for us, Rory mocks. Aye, but who or what caused it such a wound, Elsa asks. All right, so then what do we have here? So we did all that. Rations used for camp action and survival. You must consume 1 per day or suffer strain. The beast. You feel a spine-chilling sensation as you descend from the crag. Suddenly you hear a deep growl. You turn around and see an imposing umbral wolf before you. These wolves are usually found in packs, but this one is on its own. Its body is covered with cuts from its battle with the wild boar. The wolf charges towards you, snarling. Its intimidating frame draws closer. Elsa, run! Rory screams, but Elsa remains frozen in fear. It's time you stand and face the beast. You quickly pull out your dirk, I guess that's what I have, dagger, and jump between Elsa and the wolf. All right, so I'm facing a wounded umbral wolf. So I'm just reading this real quick. I won't read this all. So let's begin by calculating your current fury points equal to fortitude plus stamina. So that is 4. In this tutorial, you'll only have 2. So that's fine. I only have 2. Draw cards for your initial starter deck equal to your fury points. But in this case, again, we're going to have 2 cards. Use your fury points to play action cards, paying the cost as stipulated on the card you wish to use. Enemies act based on fate card symbols. Okay, that's fine. So draw a card. Okay, I got it. So we can draw cards for the initial starter deck. Let's do that first. And I wonder if is that a little bit too loud? It's going to come down when I talk. Should be okay. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to draw cards to the initial battle deck, battle hand 2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to shuffle this a couple times. So these are my 2 battle hand cards. Second Wind, which is a heal, recover 2 health. And Dash, it's a defense. Okay, so those are my 2 cards for now. So let's go back. And normally I would get 4 again, but this is the tutorial, you only get 2. Draw a fate card for you and the Wounded Wolf to determine initiative. All right, so let's see that. And here's my initiative. So I get the Awin, which is courage, and he gets Daranat, which is the legacy card. I know, and let me see if I can show you real quick, but I do win that one. So here is this is the order for initiative. And here it says even fate card symbol order for initiative. So, you know what, I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Just a little bit more, there we go. Okay, so it goes Triskelion, Wheel of Taurus, Awin, and I got Awin, and then Triquetra, Daranat. So I win the initiative. So I think what I'm going to do for now, I guess we'll just do that every round. So let's reset the fate deck, and let's go back. So I get to go first. Use your cards and fury cards to defend and strike. Now, does it tell you? Okay, here we go. A wounded Umbral Wolf has 5 health, 0 defense, and deals 1 point of damage when the Wheel of Tyrannus or Awin is drawing during activation. All right, so what I'm going to do, 5 health, 0 defense. So let's just do like a battle map. We don't really need to do this, but I want to have something to, let's just put them in the middle here. And I think we should have a wolf token. I wish you could, wolf. Yeah, there we go. And this is going to be an Umbral Wolf. So I'm just going to put it here. Let's see. Why can't I? Oh, probably because I need to. Where's the selection? Map link, show map links. I want to just do select, right? But that's on, I want to get rid of the eraser. Okay, good. So we'll put these 2 next to each other, and let's double click into him. So that has, normally he gets 6 health and 1 defense, but in this case he's wounded. So let's just move him down to 5, and this should be his defense. Sorry. Oh, I think it's Control Shift. There we go. 5 and 0. So we'll leave it at that, and I get to attack first. So let's go back and remember. So my hand is... So I can use up to 2 points. So second wind is 2. I don't need to do that health, and that would take both of my points. I could use dash, avoid 1 attack this round, but that takes 2. I really don't want to do that. Are those really my initial battle deck? I think it is. So weapon. So I can use, I think I can only attack with it 1 time, but I can attack with this, and I can do 1 damage. I believe, I'm going to look at this real quick, but I think I can use my trusted sword and deal 3 damage. All right, so I looked up a couple things, and one thing I remembered is I do gain +1 fury point for redemption, but given this is the tutorial quest, I'm just going to keep it at the 2. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this in the tutorial quest, so we'll just keep it at 2. So you can only use your weapon once, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So that's going to take 1, since there's a 1 at the top left of the card. So let me do that, and I deal 3 damage to it. So let's go to the Highland map, or no, sorry, the Wyvern map. And that's going to do 1, 2, 3, take it down to 2. Then it is its card. So I believe the way that works is I would roll, I think, on the fate. Yeah, I'm going to pause that again. Okay, we are going to look up in reference guide 2 how the enemy activation works, just to make sure I don't screw this up. So attack once every round, draw 1 fate card at the start of the enemy phase. And I only used 1 point, but I didn't have anything else to do with that extra point because I had 2 cards that had 2 each. So I'm going straight to the enemy phase. So by default, it's going to use its basic attack. But let's see, since this is the tutorial, what did it say? A wounded and deals 1 point of damage. Okay, so this is a little different. It's saying it just deals 1 point of damage if the Wheel of Tyrannus or Awen is drawn during its activation. So let's try that. So we're gonna go back. Normally it would do like special abilities, but this is our tutorial. So we are going to draw a card, fate action, 1 card. And that is the Wheel of Tyrannus. So it does 1 point of damage. I don't have armor or shield that I'm aware of. So we're going to reset the fate deck. We're going to give that a shuffle. And we're going to give me 1 point down. Let's try that again. So my health points, current health is going to go down to 15. And again, I have no defense at the moment that I'm aware of because I have no armor. So, all right. So it's this top of the round. And you know what? I am going to make sure I have this shuffling automatically. So give me a second. Never mind. There's nothing I needed to do there. I think I already shuffled this, but I can shuffle again. Let's do initiative. This is round 2. Maybe I'll do a counter. You know what? I'm going to do that. All right. I just created a little counter here so we can track it. This is round 2. We're going to roll for initiative. And I think this time he wins initiative because this, and I'll keep remembering this, this is the Triskelion, which is the best initiative, and this is the Daranaut, which is the second to worst. So, all right, let's reset the fate deck. Let's give it another shuffle, but he goes first. So now, again, we're going to do the fate action, and if he rolls a Wheel of Tyrannus or Awen, then he can damage me. He rolled the Daranaut, so that does not damage me. So now it's my turn. I don't add any cards from the battle deck because, again, in this tutorial, I only get 2 cards. And each of these, I guess I could, if damage this round, recovered 2 health. If damage this round, removed 1 strain. That's interesting. I have to remember how strain works. Do I get strain? I want to understand that. See if which one of these probably tells me about strain. Does it? Arcane powers. I don't remember how I get strain. So reference guide 2. I don't know if I get strain just from getting injured, but I'll look that up after. Let's not. Yeah. I don't remember what. Yeah, I don't remember how you get strain. All right, I don't think you get strain just by injuries, so I'm going to go back and say it's my turn. So he acted. So now it's my turn. So unfortunately, I don't think I want. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, for now, you know what? One thing I can do, I know you can burn a card, and you can do this, I think, once per combat. And if you burn a card, it doesn't come back in your deck, and you can immediately draw another card. But let's just do, since this is just the standard, let's just keep going. I'm going to do my standard weapon attack, and that is 1 point. That's going to deal 3 damage, and he has 0 defense, so that should kill him outright. So that I don't think there's really any way you can lose that unless I'm missing something. Let's go down to the wolf. So I don't know how you can defeat it. How could you not defeat it if you automatically do the damage? Because I don't think I need to. I want to make sure I'm not cheating there, but each round draw cards, spend FP or play cards or use a weapon. Yeah, I think I did all that correctly. And yeah, I don't think I have to hit. I don't think I have to draw to hit that I'm aware of. But let's go back one more time to make sure. Let's look at my table. Is this, yeah, it doesn't have a symbol that is like, it says requirement, you need 1 strength, which I have, but I don't think there's anything else. I think it just hits, you can do that damage. This is the way I understand it. So, okay, I think we're victorious and the wolf and everyone is defeated. So, that is good. Let's go back to, yeah, all the enemies are defeated. Trying to see if Barty will recognize that, but let's just go back to, okay, it went back to casual. It just took it a second. All right, so I'm going to put this back to 1. I think for your battle hand, you reset. So round shuffle, maybe I just need to take those back, I think, for now. And then we can do a little shuffle. I think that's right. At least I hope that's right. Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't know if that's right, but we'll keep going. So let's see what it says. You catch your breath as the beast lays slain on the ground. Gain 2 hero points. So let's do that. So that goes to 5. Alyssa and Rory embrace you after the violent encounter. With enough excitement for one day, you all head down the crag as the sun begins to set. In your mind, you can still see the orange-hued sunset as you stand with Rory and Elsa beneath the crag affair. You sit beside your mother in your cottage by the hearth that night. The flames flicker as the amber sparks rise. You remember how she would hum to the stars and tell tales of your ancestors who fought the Wyverns, defying all odds. She is gone now, but the stars remain. Perform up to 3 camp actions using rations. Okay. For this event only, each of the 3 available camping options costs 1 point, regardless of the normal. Well rested, restore 3 health plus 1 defense in your next combat. Remove 1 additional strain. Let's see. So I think, so I want to restore health and remove an additional strain. So let's do that. And that costs 1 point using rations. So I'm going to go down to, so I'm going to take away my strain. This will go down to 2. Take away my strain. And I did have 1 health that was damaged. So now that's 16. I think that's it. Let's see. And I also get to plus 1 defense in your next combat. So I guess that's just temporary. So I go to my character sheet. Defense. I wonder if I'll just put it up here for now. Plus 1 defense. Next combat only. It's not really an arcane power, but it'll help me remember it. Okay. I don't know what brood, stargazing. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I just want to do the 1. I think that's it. So fire, fury, death, the whispers of 3 women speaking as one echo in your mind. I will be watching you, Highlander. Destiny is a fickle beast, and you have much adversity to overcome. I am the Morrigan, and you shall be my champion. The shadow of a monstrous wyvern looms over you, and you reach for your sword. You awaken, and the dream sequence comes to an abrupt end. The fire in the brazier has reduced to embers and your vision of the past evaporates. You are back on the deck of the ship. All that remains is the darkness and the stars that guide you to a destiny yet to be revealed. What of Rory and Elsa? They were inseparable as brother and sister. You wonder where they are now. Has the return of the Wyverns disrupted their lives? Only time will tell if they are as you remember them to be, and if they remember you as their cousin. You have not forgotten them. So begin with the extra hero points and rations you awarded during the tutorial. If you brooded, nope. If you stargazed, nope. If you failed combat, which I didn't, but I am going to look up a couple of things and be right back. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to do that all over again, but I just realized I completely screwed this up. No wonder it was so easy, but I don't think I'm going to go through it again. The thing I missed looking at this encounter again at the top is you quickly pull out your Dirk dagger. I thought I had my sword since it was on my character sheet, but I think the point here that I missed here is that this says use your fury points to play action cards and pay the cost as you would. But I think I was supposed to just use those cards, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's do this, and then I'll probably end this since we've been going about an hour. Yeah, about just about an hour. I'm going to go back and look at the other thing it said to do is the stand and face me tutorial. So I probably should have done this before, but let's do this again. And I think I don't remember if I went through and said all this, but let's just take a look at it. So use the following to carry out the tutorial. So in this case, and this is what I thought I was able to do last time, but I think I messed that up. So I can use my trusty sword, 1 fury point to attack once per round. And I do have fury points, and I did already have 4, so that's fine. Your father has 5 health, 1 defense. He will not strike first, so I get to strike, draw 4 cards, your 4 fury points. So let's go here, and I'm going to shuffle these, and we're going to say this is round 1. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is my battle hand. So I've got dash, which is 2, momentum, which is 1, arcane power, which is 2. I don't have any arcane power. And then bloodlust, which is 0. Gain +1 FP immediately. If below half health, draw 1 card. All right. All right. Dirk, 1 FP, deal 2 damage, if you will. I guess this is just a tutorial. So this is saying this is what you get, which is fine. You play battle cry and scream, Abu go bath, +1 strength per round. You lash out. You draw 1 card due to the Dirk effect. You're wielding one-handed weapon. Okay. So this is just, sorry, I guess this is just a overall discussion, so I won't go through that. I thought you actually had a tutorial here. So I think that's it. I am going to go for the minute back to the campaign. And I do want to go to the campaign introduction because I did not read that to begin with. So let's read through this, and then I think I'm going to wait to start the actual campaign for the next game session. So let's read through this. So it begins. Enter a dark and perilous land steeped in brooding myth and shrouded in gloomy clouds, inhabited by tough and resilient people known as the Highlanders. This is the Umbral Highlands, a land once ruled by stone-scaled wyverns who brought destruction upon its people. The Skyfire Order was formed to hunt them down until the last wyvern Rivisk was slain by its final hunter, Uru Beliath. You are his sole descendant. These vicious creatures were considered extinct, but the son of Rivisk survived. Born of magic, they have become corrupted and mutated into the most destructive wyverns. Rogue mages, covens, and dark creatures now enter the land, seeking a powerful wellspring of magic linked to their return. Unleashing its power would spell the end of your homeland. It is time to return to your place of birth, confront the threats from within, seek out powerful relics and weapons, recruit local allies, rekindle the Order of the Skyfire, and rebuild its headquarters, Crag Keep. Will you be the light that shines hope into the sullen hills, or will the wyverns cast their blaze of destruction once more, leaving the highlands in ashes? Unleash your power and fulfill your destiny. Join the hunt, Albu Gu Brath. So it does say before you start the campaign, make sure you've read through, which I have, fill out your character sheet, shuffle the fate deck, did that. Have the reference sheet nearby, have that. Place your 12 starter cards. I did that. And I shuffled them, marked the base effect on the unlocked card sheet. Okay, I'll have to do that. Place your hero miniature. I did that. Place your inventory sheet and unlocked cards within reach. Inner monologue. Awoke in the dark of night, my hand curled into a furious fist and my heart beating the sound of war, to the sound of war. My eyes fixated on the ceiling and an ominous feeling crept over my senses. I cannot place what it is, but I am in a state of heightened awareness ready for combat, but I cannot move a single muscle. This has happened countless times over the last few years. Each time it gets worse and more intense, like a nagging pain that won't go away. First, I was afraid, thinking that a demon or spirit was calling my name from the abyss. But I have figured out what is calling me. The darkness is not out there, but within me. My homeland seeks my return like a long lost brother whom I have not embraced in a lifetime. It yearns for my return, but why? The land I hail from is steeped in highlands and dark hills, a place of myth and legend where only the strongest and most cunning survive. It is a place I thought I had long forgotten after departing in my youth, but I still feel spellbound by its magical aura. It is the land that saw my birth and shared in the pain that I and those I love endured. I cannot go against what feels like destiny pulling me back onto my path with an irresistible force. I must steer my course and uncover why I'm meant to return to my homeland. I will not rest until I return to the Umbral Highlands and forge my destiny. Trey Amsir Wilshire on Fearn. In time, the truth shall be revealed. You now commence your campaign. Continue to the next page and carry out the quest, The Arrival. All right, so I did that and I'm ready to go. So that was just about an hour. I think that's a good place to stop. I enjoyed it, made some mistakes, which isn't surprising given it was my first playthrough on the tutorial quest, but I think we're good. So we are going to start with the main quest next time, and I hope you enjoyed. So give me, again, a comment if you want to see this continue. Give me a like. Let me know. And until next time, happy gaming, everyone.